Welcome back, everyone, to week 2 of the European Masters. My name is Malwitz Chronica, joined here by Georgia Trouble Paras, and I can't wait. It's only been a week, but it feels like so much longer.
Did you just shorten both my nickname and my surname?
Yeah. I mean, your surname, I'm not going to touch your surname with a 10-foot pole because my Greek is not great.
Excited to be back. We had a very eventful week 1. The EU Masters this year is absolutely freaking stacked. We're going to lose 2 teams today from Group B, and it's going to be an absolute banger of a day. And in all honesty, I'm more sad about the 2 teams we're actually about to lose than the 2 teams going forward, because we're going to see them again.
It's all or nothing, right? It's do or die, and if you don't make it today, you're not going to make it out of groups. You're not going to continue your EU Masters journey. So the pressure is on for every team. Every match today matters. And I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that this might very well be the most competitive European Masters we've ever had. Because if you look at the level of play already in groups, it's staggering.
I think it's a double-edged sword. We have major regions coming in with 3 seeds, and all 3 seeds are actually so strong. And then you also have the minor regions coming in with so much fire and soul inside them, and they want to fight, and they don't just want to play upset and take some wins away from the major regions. They actually want to knock them out and go forward.
And everything is still possible. We've seen time and time again in European Masters, you're not sure that you're out of groups before you're actually out. Of course, today we're going to be taking a look at Group B. But as you were saying before, all of these groups, I feel like there's still so many ways in which they can develop, so many teams that, while currently maybe not in the best of spots, can still make it out. And we've seen upsets happen again and again.
The XL Miracle Run.
It can happen. It's possible. And is that going to happen today? That remains to be seen. Both SubUp and GamerLegion currently at the bottom. And then Movistar and Rogue. They both look incredible thus far.
And I'm actually going to take Movistar because I think we've been kind of harsh on the SLO, and I think we're right to do so because
we were cautious.
We're very cautious because they're always coming in with a lot of hype, and then they're kind of underwhelming. They're not bad. They're just not living up to the high expectations that we set them to be. And this time, I feel specifically Movistar Riders, I have them as my #1 contender to take it all.
Take it all.
Yeah.
Take the entire tournament. That's a big statement. But if I look at the games they played,
you said that Morningstar are gonna take it, so I think mine's a little easier to go with.
Yours is a little bit safer. Now the SLO, of course, as you say, they've been an incredibly consistent region, but I feel like they want more. I feel like they really want to get back to that first place spot. And as you were saying before, I think if there is a team that does it, even though Giants has looked incredible after a bit of a rough start, Movistar is definitely the team.
Movistar has had a great start and a great finish in Group 1, so now it's their time to shine and show how they can go 6-0 in groups and teach everyone else how to do so. The only thing that concerns me in the draft, that is Movistar versus GamerLegion last time, Movistar came obviously on top. The thing that worries me here is that they're on red side. On red side, you usually ban champions that are extremely strong in the meta right now, trying to strip them away from the blue team that has the first pick. And having to always ban Heimerdinger and Ziggs versus Hjarnan, it's going to be so many picks left open for the blue side.
You don't really have an option, of course, because we've seen what happens if you leave it open.
It's gone.
That's a special. That's as special as Hecarim coming in. It has, of course, been an incredibly important pick on 10.16. And even though we've seen some difficulties with the early invades and whatnot, in the end, there's a reason that this pick is so confident.
You're talking to the one person that's still not guaranteed to tell you that, yes, Hecarim is absolutely fantastic. You know what the thing is with Hecarim? I've been talking to a couple of junglers, and they all have different opinions. They're like, yes, it's really strong, because if you get ahead, you can literally stomp everyone. And then you have junglers saying, well, you know, people know how to deal with it. Like, I'm playing it, and I even know how to deal with it. So you're seeing the level 1 invades. You're seeing hard choking on the jungle like Elyoya in the previous game versus a Go Rogue. You know, he suffered. He was choked inside his own jungle. They know how to play against it. And Movistar Riders are not strangers to the pony. Elyoya plays the pony, so I'm pretty sure he knows how to play against it as well.
This is a GamerLegion draft if I've ever seen one. Random, I don't know, why not?
Get the Vel'Koz in there as well.
Pick up the
Might
Swain.
as well.
And this is something that really categorizes not just GamerLegion, but I feel like the DAC region as a whole. There is an incredible diversity.
Can you even categorize them?
Exactly.
You can't.
There's so much diversity, not just in what they draft, as we can see very clearly here, but also in the diversity of teams. Because if you look at Schalke versus Maus versus GamerLegion, they're all very different teams. Although that Renekton is a little bit more standard.
Yeah, it's a little bit more standard. We see it a lot in the LCK as well. They will prioritize it, especially when you're on blue side. You're allowing counter pick on the red side. Renekton doesn't necessarily lose too many matchups. He's pretty safe. And what I really like about Renekton that's not been talked about a lot is that he's actually a pretty good peel for your ADC later onto the game. So he falls off, he might not be able to kill the backline, but he'll help you survive to carry the game. And on the other hand, I wouldn't be surprised to actually see Elyoya lock in the Graves here. You're playing sort of farm versus farm jungler. Graves can actually peel a lot. You throw the blind down, Hecarim won't even know where he's going.
Smokescreen, of course, incredibly strong. And
he's going to be kind of like these horses where you go to the islands and they have sort of the,
can just run it down, which we've seen Hecarim do both in a good and a bad way. Now talk to me a little bit more about Elyoya, because you mentioned him a couple of times, and I know that even with how stacked Movistar's roster is, because we've seen highlight performances out of everyone on that roster, Elyoya is the player that people keep coming back to.
Yeah, absolutely. His performance is insane. He has very intelligent jungle paths. I think there are two specific junglers that I'm having my eye on. One would be Dan from Fnatic Rising, and the other one would be Elyoya. And we're seeing the emergence of so many polished junglers in general in the scene, especially the LEC. 3 out of 4 teams polished junglers in the top 3. And Elyoya is making a huge case for the LEC right now. He's like, look at me, look what I can do. I can do engage, I can do tank, I can do aggressive, I can do ADC, I can do APC in the jungle, I can do everything. And it all works.
And it speaks a lot to the diversity and the strength of that roster that we saw a strategy specifically coming out from Rogue that, of course, that rematch is going to be amazing later today as well, where they try to choke down Elyoya, and it didn't work. It doesn't work. Now, for GamerLegion...
It's kind of like the Caps kind of thing, where they're like, how are we going to make sure Caps will not snowball? Well, he is going to snowball. Just deal with it.
It doesn't matter.
Just deal with it.
And Elyoya is the same. Now, for GamerLegion, they are a team that we've said time and time again, they do love their curveballs in draft. They've proven it before we even had the chance to say by picking up the Swain this early, which currently is looking like it's going to be the support Swain, but you never know with GamerLegion.
Yeah, I
can see the confusion on your face.
I wouldn't be surprised if Visdom takes the Maokai down in the bot lane and we see Nite play Rabble in the Swain. I wish it was Rabble. Swain in the mid lane. They can do whatever they want. This is why we mentioned with the Dark region, they play all different playstyles. I feel like GamerLegion, out of all 3 Dark teams, they play the most spicy game ever. To the point where sometimes I feel like they're out-drafting themselves. It's like so much.
And here again.
Where's everyone going?
Okay, so...
I don't know. This is a Hjarnan special. This is a Swain bot lane. There you go.
It's got to be. And there's a reason why Hjarnan is so comfortable. You see the Ziggs, you see the
4 melees. 4 melees.
Yeah.
How?
That's GamerLegion, right?
Versus Shen, have fun.
Yeah. I mean, we said before, they also might have a tendency to overcomplicate stuff. Whether or not that's going to be the case remains to be seen. Now let's take a look at the come from Movistar, because that is a lot more conventional.
That is so sick, right there by Xico.
Yeah.
He's like, you're playing 4 into me? Into my Azir? Xico has been, I feel like, the moving gear in Movistar, even on his own. He's kind of playing his own game. They're like, cool, we're going to play on Elyoya, we're going to have rhuckz running around with him, we're going to feed him. Xico's like, I'm feeding myself, guys, don't worry about me. And right here on Azir, he's going to play pretty much guarding duty. He's going to make sure that he's creating room between all these 4 melees from GamerLegion and his own backline. I feel like the Azir pick right here is so crucial for them.
The GamerLegion is very much go hard or go home. And we have seen...
They always go hard or go home.
That can be inconsistent. And that is something that has been a problem of them. You saw the early gaming in the previous games, they were able to match nicely. Now, for the Dark region as a whole, we've seen Maus suffer from the same issues. That inconsistency is something that kind of plagues all the teams that we've seen in the tournament thus far. Versus, you might as well call them the Spanish Shavers, Movistar. They have a really well-rounded draft, I feel, and plenty of tools to make it work. Is GamerLegion going to be able to stand up to this?
If we take history here, last time these two teams met, which was in groups first week, GamerLegion had an insane early game, and here they actually have the tools with all this early game playmaking with the Renektons, the Irelias, the Hecarims to actually make it work again. It was the mid-game decision-making that made their game fumble. And right here, oh no.
Oh boy.
Oh, he walked out!
Oh no.
Run back in!
Yeah, that's a flash, and that is going to be Visdom that already has to use his summon at this early. Also doesn't have the Hex Flash available, and off to a cracking start on the first game of the day, second week of EUM. We have had to wait a little bit, but I am sure it is going to be more than worth it, as the level 1 action is quite impressive here to start off. JaVaaa already in a little bit of an awkward spot, getting taken down. And all in all, GamerLegion are under a lot more pressure here, because Movistars, they're 3-0, they're cruising.
Actually, if we're talking about map-wise, I feel like Movistar are under pressure more, because JaVaaa is going back into his lane with less than 50% HP. He took a very unfavorable trade in the bot side river. He has to pop his pot that early before even minions crash. And I think Visdom will be okay without his flash. Sure, it takes down a little bit the aggression, and you need to make sure that you have kept your bot side warded at all times to not get ganked, because both Swain and Maokai are sort of very immobile. But all in all, you look how far back JaVaaa has to play. He has to respect the HP bars.
If there's one thing that Swains love, it's hard CC. And Maokai's point and click hard CC, which generally is quite strong against immobile targets like the Jhin. So JaVaaa and rhuckz not going to have the greatest of starts here. But then that's where we come back to what we said before. The SLO, they're looking to reclaim their former glory. And the big problem on this team, if you're playing against them, is that anyone can play that carry role, though JaVaaa and rhuckz have to be a little bit careful here. We see the CC immediately come through. Eye of Empire is going to do a lot of damage. Ignite comes through on Visdom, who has no mana, and bot lane from Movistar taking the worst end of an early trade there.
So you know how they say about supports when you're playing a poke support versus a hard engage support that Maokai is right here? You're like, well, the tank support is sort of going to suffer because the poking is too hard. The Jhin can poke here as well. I'm going to hold my thought, though.
And here goes rhuckz in very aggressively here on top of Visdom. Elyoya there to help them out. The re-engage coming through from Visdom. Beautiful twisted advance. Keeps him alive as the deadly flourish misses. And that is going to be it for the first gank here. Does force out the heal, but all in all, not too much loss for GamerLegion. That
was extremely sleek. Sure, they burn a heal onto Hjarnan, but that's fine because still has himself available. What you need to build your eyes on right now is that rhuckz on that bard doesn't have his flash available for him, and GamerLegion in the bot side, they have the priority, which means that Rabble is more than welcome to walk up the river.
He does not, though. Doesn't want to deal with an early grace. And I think the fact that Nite isn't there probably has a lot to do with that. Hjarnan and Visdom have shoved out the lane, but might be looking for an early back themselves. And this is a great early start for Elyoya, able to pick up the double scuttle right off the bat here on Graves.
See, I didn't necessarily see if Nite took a cheater recall right there, because I wasn't necessarily paying attention in the mid lane. But the fact that, you're right, Nite wasn't there stopped Rabble from taking that bot lane battle for the scuttle crab and lost the top one as well. Which means that it's going to be extremely rough to try and get ahead of Elyoya, unless you just run him down. But again, it doesn't matter what you do to Elyoya. He's on a farming champion. He's just gonna farm his heart out. Now he's ahead in experience. He's ahead in CS. You're putting the Hecarim down. He never comes back.
Early leader being built up by Elyoya, as you said. And all in all, GamerLegion, they're able to match, they're able to withstand some of the early pressure, but the big question is whether or not they can kind of bounce back from it, because thus far I think that the problem has been as Nite goes in here, Xico not too scared, needs to be aware of the deadly flourish, but isn't actually going to get taken down there. As we were saying before, GamerLegion, we've seen them match in the early game. I'm more interested in how they are going to match the mid game here.
I think it's very important to look at the Shens. Because the second the Irelia Shen comes in, the Hecarim Shen comes in, this is where you actually spike and you can have these river fights. Together with the Renekton level 6, this is where you're most likely going to look to try and snowball your early game. Because you have these melee fighters, you want to snowball them and accelerate their scaling towards that late game. You want that Jhin to be constantly scared to move anywhere near far.
And once level 6 is ding, beansu can help out a little. but it's not going to be enough against the amount of backline dive that's available for GamerLegion. So any lead that they will be able to solidify is going to come up huge for them, and that is traditionally where they have been the strongest against these stronger teams. Now for Movistars, they can sit back. They have a really well scaling comp as JaVaaa goes forward, does get hit there by the hand,
Rabble,
and that might very well be the end of him. He flashes forward, but Rabble finds the knockback. He'll get used. JaVaaa is trying to run away. He's going to stay alive for a really long time, but that's first blood getting picked up by Rabble. Now Elyoya here on the return gank, trying to look for the counter as the pony runs away. Cosmic Binding is gonna find the Swain, but Hjarnan is very tanky. This might go very wrong for Movistar Riders. The #1 seed of the SLO is getting dove in the bot lane as Phones goes deep, finds the kill, and it's a 2-for-0. Xico doesn't want to leave it at that. He has the Emperor's Divide available. He's level 6, trying to go for a couple of ultis, but I don't think he can go in this. They're too tanky. He goes for it anyway. Visdom tries to take him down, but the re-engage is only going to keep him in place. Will get blown up in the end as Nite joins the fray as well. rhuckz trying to run for the hills, but that is the Vanguard chance, and I'm pretty sure that the Bard is not going to get away from this one. rhuckz staying alive for a lot longer than I anticipated. There comes a flash from Nite. It's an absolute bloodbath here as the counter kill comes through. It's a shutdown on Rabble. 6 minutes into the game, and in the end, 4 against 2.
6 minutes, 6 kills. Are you not entertained already?
Yes.
GamerLegion are pulling the good old GamerLegion style we know and love. They picked up 4 kills, 2 as assists and 2 as kills onto the Hecarim, which is extremely important. And I think that JaVaaa is underestimating his opponents and the fact that they don't know where Rabble is on the map. He pulls his flash and heal instantly, and then they can just run him down, which is exactly what they do. Here, Rabble is extremely low, and Elyoya says that his eyes are literally fiery right now. He wants, like, he smells blood. But there's so much CC between the Maokai and the Swain that it doesn't allow Elyoya to reach the backline. And then Phones, with the level 6, is able to join and completely finish the fight. Then Xico is like, I see 3 targets right there. There's more.
There's more fights. There's always more fights as they fight over what seems to be a grump here. Not sure if Blue Buff was already taken. And there goes Nite in deep. Finds beansu as well. And I think he's going to be the sacrificial lamb as Movistar gets away from there. And now it's a big gold lead for GamerLegion. DAC region looking at this game smiling. And Movistars, they're the #1 seed. They're the big hope for Spain. They're the ones that are supposed to reclaim this. And thus far in the early game, they've not been able to match.
That's exactly how the previous game between these two started in Week 1 groups. It was GamerLegion taking every skill check up to minute 10 and winning it. They were better than Movistar in that game. They're proving that pre-10 minutes, they're better than Movistar again. They'll take the fights that are advantageous for them and they'll come out ahead. You see the Catalyst already completed, the Fade's already completed. Hecarim, Nite?
Yeah, he actually gets away. The Deadly Flourish is going to take him down, but not enough damage right now. Curtain Call comes through. The collateral damage is not enough, and meanwhile, rhuckz is getting chased down. Xico already dead, as Rabble and Visdom now need to get away from a very angry Elyoya. Doesn't have the ultimate available, used it earlier. Visdom taken low, but Maokai has a lot of sustain, and in the end, it's a free trade. They can pick up a free kill, and GamerLegion looking so good in the early game here.
Nite and rhuckz got away on a sliver of health, literally getting away by the skin of the teeth. At the end of the day, though, we need to see where the kills landed. It's the Hecarim being the recipient again. We've talked about that Rabble needs to fall behind for this game to be a free victory for Movistar. Once the Hecarim falls behind, it's really hard for him to catch back up. But now he has more farm, he has more experience, he's casting on so many kills. He's 1.4k ahead.
I'm a simple man. I see a fat Hecarim, and I think that's good for the team with the fat Hecarim, because let's be honest, Rabble able to pick up this big lead.
Boy.
I mean, he's doing amazing, and GamerLegion as a whole must be getting quite the positive eyes here, at least thus far. But let's not forget, Movistar Riders, they've been in a position like this before. And the most scary thing about this team is if you give them a single opening, they can suddenly come back into the game. But how do they actually find that opening? Because they're skirmishing from GamerLegion.
I'm actually really scared for them. I'm really scared for JaVaaa, because if you guys watched the LEC finals as well, where Reckless was playing the Jhin, there's only so much room that you can wiggle around in such an immobile, supportive ADC that sometimes you don't even get to fight. You don't even get to hit one shot in an entire fight. You just sit back and ult. And that will just not be enough versus an Irelia, a Hecarim, and a Renekton that just want to dive you.
The 2k gold down, but Movistar Riders are going to start up the Rift Herald anyway. But looking at the positions, it looks like GamerLegion says, that's fine, we'll take Cloud Dragon. We're going to advance that objective for ourselves and let you take the first Herald of the game. Shelly might be visiting a top or mid lane near you sometime soon as the objective trade does come through. We'll be looking at a mountain or an ocean rifts coming out here, and if GamerLegion can secure a couple more of these drakes, which with this early advantage and the fact that their composition is this good at skirmishing would not surprise me at all.
No, I really like it. As soon as you have a Trinity Force on Hecarim, as soon as you have the Blade of the Ruin King onto the Irelia, it's your go button. You want to actually start fighting, and what better time than stacking all the dragons, forcing Soul Point, and then inviting Movistar to come and try and fight you when they're still scrambling for a couple of items.
Need to remind you, it's all or nothing. GamerLegion needs this win. If they're able to get a win here, they're actually threatening second place of the group, and all of a sudden the games for Rogue become a lot more precarious. Now,
the group is wide open.
Yeah.
Because if GamerLegion win here, then that makes a case for sap up later too.
It can all happen. And we're going to find out tonight how it's actually going to end up as JaVaaa gets taken very, very low by an angry Phones. Stand United comes through. Phones getting taken low, but not quite down as of yet. Elyoya making its way up top, but I don't know if it's going to be enough as we see a beautiful ultimate from the Barda trying to keep him alive. Here come the reinforcements though. Teleport's channeled as well. Hjarnan is standing very far forward, and he is tanky. Not sure if he's tanky enough. Elyoya maybe overstepping a little bit there as he gets blown up, and that's the Graves gone. A huge play from Xico, but did he overstep? It's going to be a kill here at the very least. 2 kills in the end, and the hero play from the Azir might be enough as Hjarnan will get taken down as well. Xico, you absolute beast, turns it around here for Movistar Riders.
Everything was GamerLegion in the first game as well. 10 minutes on the clock and it turns completely around. They lose their decision making, they fumble on their execution. Nite could not join this fight the entire time because he didn't have his teleport available, and then GamerLegion wanted to take this fight. I was about to say, you know when you want to fight? When Shen has to ulti defensively and you don't make proactive plays. That's all they needed to take. Back off and allow to make another play on the map when beansu wouldn't have his ult and TP and Nite would, because that would give you the numbers advantage. But GamerLegion chose to take a 4v5. And he turned around. It's literally like we're watching the previous exact game. 10 minutes on the clock, GamerLegion was winning every single fight. Movistar, after 10 minutes, turned it around. It's the same thing happening here.
And this is what we've been saying. Everyone can carry in Movistar. So we've been hyping up Elyoya. He oversteps, coming in a little bit, but then it's Xico with an absolute banger of a play who suddenly turns it around.
Yeah, and you see that JaVaaa might not be joining the fight, but he's doing enough zoning with his ultimate where the whole of GamerLegion are backing off while Hjarnan is moving back in. And even though Elyoya ends up dying, he gets everyone low enough for the rest of Movistar to come in and completely clean house.
Yeah, Hjarnan thinking that he was going to be the target. He was not, but after standing there with the stopwatch, he was the target. Now, it's not all disaster for GamerLegion. They're still able to pick up the first turret blood off the back of that. They're still considerably ahead in a number of lanes. But this is what we've seen Movistar done time and time again. If you make a single execution error, if you overextend in the team fight, one of them is going to come in and just clean you up. And that is something that's so scary to face, but is also a great comfort to any SLO fence out there as Nite uses the active of the Cutlass, goes on top of beansu, it's double flash. And that is going to be an even trade of summoners.
Honestly, I'd trade my flash if I was Irelia any day of the week versus the flash taunt from Shen that can happen in any single fight and can turn it around. So that's great stuff from Nite. He's peaking right now with the Blade of the Ruin King. He can take every single fight. You see that beansu doesn't even have his first item completed for him. The only thing that stops Nite from killing him is tab ice, and that's just not good enough yet. You need more armor, you need more HP. Looking at Phones to complete that Blade of the Ruin King as well, and I feel like GamerLegion's composition will be at a very good state to try and take hard fights.
Oh yeah, he's going for the blue buff, but Nite is there. Nite is a very angry
scared.
level. Irelia, I'm not sure if Elyoya can go for that. Nice dodge. Nite now caught out. Doesn't have the flash available. Using it in the earlier exchange. They're going to go hard in him, but Nite goes hard on Elyoya. He gets taken low and will go down in the end while Rabble tanks for Nite. He's not going to go down. That's very, very aggressive onslaught of shadows, and Rabble goes down. Trades the kill, though, and I'm sure he'd take that any time of the day, as it is GamerLegion that yet again finds a better trade. It's a 2-for-1. And I'm not sure, with both junglers down, if they want to go for a play on the Drake here.
No, but it leaves mid lane wide open for Nite to keep on continuously farming and farming and farming, unbothered from the rest of Movistar. So while GamerLegion are pulling the trigger, they're coming out ahead in kills. That Hecarim is so fat. He has 6 kills at the moment. He is going to completely decimate your backline, and Nite plays this so well. He's not scared seeing Elyoya. He's 2 levels up on the grades. Exactly. And then he gets bot ulted and he dashes onto Elyoya beautifully, avoiding the stun from the bot.
Oh, Rabble.
And then once the last shot from JaVaaa has left the building, that's where Rabble goes in. That was so well executed. He knew he was dead, but he also took the kill.
The inconsistency of the dark region goes both ways. When they look good, they look amazing, and GamerLegion is proving it here.
I don't think there's middle ground, Chronicler, with the dark region. It's like you're either going to overperform or underperform. There's nothing in between.
And that's what's looking like overperforming. Now, it's not all set in stone yet for Movistar, because they have, of course, multiple carries. They have a Shen to kind of bolster that, but still, with these skirmishes going the way that they have, one more Drake in 4.5 minutes, and there's going to be Soul Point picked up for GamerLegion, and once that's on the table, I feel like Movistar is going to have a really tough time. Is it just going to be another hero play from someone like Xico from Elyoya, or does Movistar have another way back into this game?
I think it's going to have to be Xico on that Azir. The reason this Azir was picked was to keep all the melee champions from the side of GamerLegion away from JaVaaa, away from Elyoya, to try and kite them back, not allow them to come close enough and execute them. And it's also really good for Movistar because he has 4 kills in his pocket as well, and he also has his first item completed as well as a haunting guy. So if someone is doing damage, it is Xico.
And curtains are called here. On GamerLegion, they're not in the slightest impressed, as they will just pick up the Rift Herald here.
He was scouting.
Yeah, they're not afraid, and considering their gold lead, I don't see why they would be. Also like to draw attention to the fact that Visdom has gone for the AP Maokai here, and is going to go for Liandry's just to get that double sapling damage, as the Tampered Fate comes through. Visdom and Hjarnan standing far forward, but I don't know if they can really go for anything here, as Nite almost takes down rhuckz and says, no, you cannot go for anything here, and that's going to be the end of it.
Nite is putting a world-class performance here.
Yeah.
The way he's using the Irelia around fights, he knew that Hjarnan and Visdom were screwed right there. One binding and everyone would go in from Movistar. But he uses his ultimate, he creates space, he engages on rhuckz, and he's like, if you come in for my carries, I'll decimate yours.
Generally, when you say space controlling characters, I don't really think of Irelia.
You don't think of Irelia, but
no.
that's what Nite has been doing the entire game.
Indeed.
He's creating space, he's saving his teammates, and he's also being a massive threat. He's been left unchecked on a side lane or on a lane where no one is in, and he's been farming his heart out. He's gonna go back and possibly have a fade. I was looking for a Shen maybe, but he's going for the Black Cleaver.
You know what, the first time that I saw a support Maokai going AP in competitive play was in the Benelux. Didn't
is that a good example now?
I'd like to say that they were ahead of their time.
Did it win?
Yes, it did.
Perfect. So
I mean, it didn't win the tournament, but it got to the finals.
There you go. So it was a good example.
It was. I mean, we didn't make it to EU Masters main event, but we don't talk about that.
You know what? The effort is what matters.
Yeah. That's how I feel.
Isn't that what we said for Worlds last year as well? On Zero, so we were like, we put effort in that.
Yeah. You know, we give a great showing.
Yeah.
We showed moxie, we showed
up in the finals.
willpower.
Hell yeah.
We didn't win, but who cares about winning?
No.
I can tell you,
it's kind of like when it's your birthday and people bring you socks.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it's the move that matters.
Honestly, I think socks are an underrated birthday
Depends on
present.
the socks.
Do you ever want to buy socks for yourselves?
No. Well, sometimes. If they're very fancy, yeah.
Now, Movistar have not been looking as strong as we've seen.
I love how
before.
you moved from socks to Movistar.
Of course, yeah. They both have a similar sounding letter. It's good enough for me. And I can imagine that Movistar is not as happy as you would be with socks on your birthday. beansu going to find an angered crocodile. Not sure if that's what he's want to go for here. But Movistar is the #1 seed of the SLO. The SLO, as we said before, they're hungry. They're looking for another win. And I can imagine, even if, as Movistar, you get through this game and you win somehow, which they've done before, they can definitely do it. You need to be a little bit scared. Rabble is going to go and charge out of there.
They pull the TP.
I can imagine that you're not feeling too good if you're an SLO fan and you see this game against the number 3 seed of Germany. As Nite
Tell you what though, I feel like GamerLegion is coming with a bitter taste from the previous split in spring where they didn't manage to get out of groups.
They were so close.
They were tied, they were 3-3, they went into tiebreakers, they just didn't manage to go in.
One best of one.
One best of one, yeah, is all that matters. And here, it's every single game a best of one. So every single game you have to give your best to try and win. And if they upset Movistar here, they make a great case for themselves to get out.
All of a sudden the group dynamic completely changes, and that is the beauty of playing the entire group in one day, right? We're gonna see the end of this story that's being built up here by the end of the day, as Fog of War is something that needs to be respected. They do have the rest of the gang there, so they're not too afraid, as the Ocean Drake is gonna spawn here. Either Vampire tries to find anyone, but not quite able to, as Rift Herald is placed in the mid lane. beansu both has Stand United and the teleport available, and it's going to be a bit of a standoff here. As the curtain gets called, Rabble is going to be looking for the steal. The re-engage comes through here, and they take over the dragon and find the steal. They go big. There's the onslaught of shadows. There's not enough damage, but in the end, Xico goes down. That's an incredibly important member. And now Elyoya needs to run for the hills, flashes into the charge. They're going through the portal. They're not afraid of anything, as Rabble is left on his own just for a split second. JaVaaa is going to get blown up. Is GamerLegion really going to do it? Are they going to upset the #1 seed from the SLO, the team where we thought, GamerLegion, are you really going to do this? Now, 5k gold lead, soul point, an absolute dominant game state for this team. 20 minutes.
That was a great fight. They get the dragon, they completely kill off Movistar. And we talked about the spikes. You've got Black Cleaver, Blade of the Ruin King onto the Irelia. Nite goes crazy. The second JaVaaa pulls the trigger for the ultimate. They're diving in. He has to stop. No one is allowed to play the game. And remember what we said. Xico is the only thing that will keep Movistar alive.
Look at them go.
If he dies first, the fight is doomed. And that's exactly what we see here. 4 people get ulted by Bard, everyone just suddenly flashes in to finish off the fight, and that is a great display of GamerLegion on their peak performance. And again, I know that Rabble is 7-3-4, but the way Nite has played so far, he's playing supportive Irelia for his team. If that is even a thing.
It's working incredibly. And as Xico goes for the big play, is it enough? Visdom gets taken low, he gets blown up, and maybe Movistar find the turn yet again. Hjarnan gonna get taken down as well. And out of nowhere, how do you keep doing this, Movistar? They find 2 kills and possibly move toward the Baron, although they do need to deal with Nite, who's pushing in the bot lane.
He's pushing, but if they start doing the Baron, they do have an extremely quick Baron with the Azir and the Graves, and Nite is gonna have to take a choice. He's gonna either have to TP, which means he burns it for the next fight, or he's gonna keep on split pushing. He's going back to buy and TP in.
They're not going to give this up. A very far away TP coming into the top lane, as Phones might be taken down here. Is running away as fast as he can. Elyoya, of course, uses the collateral damage defensively, as we see Phones is gonna be taken down, and yet Rabble making sure that they can't actually do anything here as he's clearing the wave. Now the pony needs to make sure that he runs for the hill as fast as he can. He goes the other way. Oh,
Job done.
Yep. We go right. No, we go left, and it works out in the end. There's no chase available anymore, and most importantly, Baron not taken.
Sacrifice needed to be made. They had no lamb. They decided to sacrifice a crocodile.
Yep.
That's fine.
Yep.
But I do like that Movistar, we've talked about this before, you make one wrong step, they will take the entire game off of you. It was over one fight where GamerLegion misstepped the previous time these 2 teams met, where Movistar took the whole game.
And the same against Rogue. Rogue was in a much more commanding position than GamerLegion is now. And the reason why we have this is for GamerLegion, it must feel like this is their tournament life on the line. If they don't get this win, it's going to be so much harder for them to actually challenge that 2nd place. And the DAC region could really use another team going to the quarterfinals.
I think we want them to win as well, because it makes the group that more spicy.
It's so fun, though. And also the comps that they're drafting. You see them go for these mid-game beefy comps.
Nite
in the end,
might be my favorite.
Work.
Yeah, Nite might be my favorite mid laner, and I'm completely biased because he's played Katarina.
Yeah, and Irelia. And you love your assassins.
No, I love Katarina because I'm a Katarina player. So the second he pulled it out, I was like, hell yeah.
I know, I feel about that.
What was that face, man?
I mean, Katarina,
Oh, come on.
It's not a fun champion.
It's unplayable. What do you mean?
I mean, it's not good at competitive,
Yeah.
but have you ever played bot lane? You think you're doing well, and then the
Oh,
O2
yeah,
Katarina comes by and then takes you down? Oh, you're that Katarina?
No, I'm actually the Katarina that goes bot lane.
Ah.
Yeah.
And then dies?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
No,
sorry, unfortunate.
you'll die.
1 minute till the Drake, as we have been standing over there, looking for something really, but no one really showing himself. And now we're getting to a point where item spikes are being hit. Is Movistar going to be able to win this Drake for the Ocean Soul in a minute? Rabble? Rabble?
He just wanted to get there quite a bit faster. I think he was trying to maybe find a very cheeky engage in the mid lane onto someone that would overextend on the wave. You see Xico is extremely not full HP, not low, but for Hecarim that is like a red light going up and down. Like you see Xico on like 70% HP, like I can one-hit that. He's not getting away from me. I think this is why he popped the ghost there as well, but it's fine. He'll survive without it. He's extremely fast. Nite.
Xico doing some damage. We've seen Nite get out of situations like this before, but I don't know if this is going to be one of the times. Elyoya finding a kill, but Rabble going in deep, trying to find a kill on Xico. He stays alive, but now it is in beansu in the thick of it. Not sure if he can get out. The taunt keeps him alive for a lot longer. There goes Phones. He goes deep. A big hold of Meek. Not enough to actually take him down. But don't forget, Soul is on the menu here for GamerLegion. And they're moving towards the Drake.
It's a 4v4, but if you look at the HP bars...
Deadly Flourish gets Hjarnan a little bit low, but they need to respect the engage coming through here. A lot of tankiness, a lot of sustain available for GamerLegion. But the poke is so strong. Teleport is going to come through here from Xico, who's going to try his darndest to not give up this Drake. And GamerLegion know they need to go for this win. They need to go for this Drake. I don't think they can. Hecarim gets taken incredibly low. Xico goes in deep yet again. Meanwhile, Phones is trying to kill 3 people on his own.
They're so low!
It doesn't quite work. Everyone is low. Everyone wants a kill as Xico gets taken solo by the sapling. Phones goes in. Xico, no! And now all of a sudden we see GamerLegion moving forward. Eye of Vampire tries to look for a kill. Teleport's going to come through from beansu here. Meanwhile, Nite, who died first, is coming back. The sapling, the hero that GamerLegion needed, might be enough for them here as Phones get taken low. Nite goes in. That's Hava definitely down. Is he going to find Elyoya as well? This fight has been going on forever, and this objective is so crucial for GamerLegion's chances in this group, and it's still not there.
I was about to say, Nite died first in this fight. He stayed about 35 seconds in the fountain, and he had to walk all the way to this fight, and he was still there just in time to get 1 kill for himself. And you see from the start that if Xico manages to stay alive, the fight goes to the side of Movistar. Unluckily for them, though, Elyoya is extremely low. Rabble has respawned together with Nite, and they are going to take the Ocean Soul. And a lot of teams here would say, GG, well played.
There are situations where you can come back from a lost Ocean Soul, but it doesn't happen often. It's generally not great.
I don't know, man. JaVaaa doesn't get to play the game. JaVaaa doesn't get to be an assassin on this champion. I don't know.
And we know he loves flashing forward now into the comp of GamerLegion. That's pretty much a nightmare. Jhin's main weakness is one notorious one. He's not that great against beefy, tanky characters.
No.
And on GamerLegion,
and especially not against full characters diving in.
Yeah. Now, Baron is going to take it really low here. Is Rabble going to try and go for the hero steal? He is in the vicinity, but the Baron will get picked up. Now that this engage needs to come through here from Movistar Riders. And JaVaaa is going to be sacrificed. That might as well be it, because I don't think that Phones can chase a lot further here. I say that as Nite is definitely not ready, not happy, but the Vanguard Jazz misses. And that's going to be it. GamerLegion give up the Baron. It's a stall for Baron in the end.
I'll take the Baron here if I'm Movistar, because it will delay the push from GamerLegion. Because GamerLegion mainly has melee characters, them pushing into the base is going to be extremely tough versus a Graves and versus an Azir. So Movistar having the Baron right here, it will help them try and push the waves out and try and keep GamerLegion away from their own base.
I agree with you in the short term, but in the long term, I've seen so many situations where, especially the Ocean Soul, it's just going to be a problem. Is the scaling from Movistar enough to deal with a team that's basically everyone is tanky, and they have an Ocean Soul?
They're not just tanky, I feel like they're raid bosses. If you look at the 2 death stances,
third one,
going to be completed onto the Renekton. The only problem here is that there's not necessarily consistent damage like the one that's coming out of Elyoya, like the one that's going to be coming out of Xico. It's like, we're diving in, are we going to kill someone? If they don't kill someone, then Xico and Elyoya are going to be able to kite them to eternity.
Rabble now going aggressive here on rhuckz. There is the reinforcements coming through. Rabble is a very, very fast pony. That's rhuckz already down. That's Harva down. And Movistar give up 2 people for no reason. That's the Baron buff gone on them as well. Elyoya still in the back line. Needs to try and get out. I don't think he's been spotted, though, as he is going to get the Baron-empowered recon. Rabble's doing his best. It's a very quick pony, but in the end, no carrot. Doesn't find the target that he was looking for. And Movistar Riders, this is the #1 SLO for Spain. We were hyping him up as the favorite, possibly, to take the entire tournament.
I was hyping them up. I'm like, these guys look on fire. But remember, when they came in...
Did you cast a curse them?
No. When they came in on week 1, they also looked like they were warming up. The game is still not over. It's just 4,000 gold difference. That could be nothing. The second that Graves scales further, he has already 3 items on him. He has the Executioners to cut down all the healing from all the bruisers. And Xico gets that death cap that he has 1 needless large rod off right now. I think we could potentially see a game turning around. Do not forget, Movistar are really good at punishing mistakes, and GamerLegion are very susceptible to making them in the late game.
Movistar has come back from worse situations, but it's still not looking good. We wanted to see kind of a dominant performance, really, because they've been looking so incredibly good, especially in the second half of week 1, but
we can't take anything away from GamerLegion, though.
No.
They've known their weak conditions. They're playing an extremely hard-to-execute composition with 4 melee champions, and they're making it work.
And this is something that GamerLegion, this is what they try to do every time, and that we saw them try last week at least. But then every time it just fell short. And here you see why this is the #3 seed of the DAC region. Here you see why this team has had so much domestic success. Because honestly, with how they're looking right now, I would not be surprised if they take them down as, thank you, beautiful observing there. Hjarnan picks up a couple of free stacks, making him even more tanky.
I was wondering what that was. I'm like, is there an Ashe? I honestly had no clue what these birds were.
Yeah, did very well. As beansu gets taken very low, needs to be really mindful, because I think dying at this point in the game is generally considered suboptimal, as phones teleports in just in case there will be a brawl.
They get that 5-second window where Xico is not there to put down the soldiers, and they push the tower. You see how hard it is when Movistar are underneath the towers in their base for GamerLegion to push. It's extremely tough, but one win condition that will make Movistar come out of their base and away from their towers is that Elder Dragon that's spawning in a minute and a half. This is why you see Movistar pushing in the mid lane. They're getting flanked though.
Yeah. Phones doesn't have teleport available, and Stanch United is of course there. I don't know if you want to take this as GamerLegion, but
you're on the wrong side. I
mean, they're going to clean up the wave, and like I don't think there's a lot that Movistar can do. Phones is making his way over. They can't go for the hard engage quite yet, but still an awkward position here for Movistar as a whole.
They're split.
They're very split, and they do have the Stanch United, so hard engage isn't really susceptible. But they are just going on a merry chase.
This is stressful. This is very stressful.
Yeah. Elyoya is going to be found by the sapling. Do we get another hero sapling as Rabble goes in?
He's going to have to flash.
Rabble needs to be mindful. Don't forget about the Shen that can come in at any point and time. It's going to be an even trade while the mid lane is pushing. We don't see the Stand United come through yet. There it is. Elyoya taken low, but not low enough. But meanwhile, on the back line, Xico is doing an absurd amount of damage. Harva is still keeping safe, as Phones is going to stay alive for a little longer, but in the end will get taken down. It's a 2-for-1 trade. Hjarnan runs for the hills. Meanwhile, though, the push is coming through here from Nite, who isn't at the fight. Unside of Shadows gets a kill. That's Elyoya gone! And Rabble tries to run away. The Deadly Flourish does find him, and the slowdown from the Jhin comes through. But catching Hecarim is really hard. Nite, he wanted to go so badly, but in the end there's no opening. It is a relatively even trade with 2 for 3 with a turret for GamerLegion.
Rabble saved GamerLegion right there. The fact that he took down Elyoya means that Movistar cannot do the Elder Dragon, because if they get anywhere near, Rabble will just jump in and smite it, because they have no smite for themselves. Now you see Elyoya, he pretends he's caught, but he knows beansu is up and available. He knows that Stand United is there for him, and that if worse comes to worse, he's gonna ulti the Graves. And this is actually what happens. The second that Elyoya gets Shen ulted, Rabble runs away. On the other hand, Xico is trying to make a really great play onto GamerLegion, and it looks like it is it, because Nite is refusing to join the fight. He wants the inhibitor, and here is where it turns around. Rabble sees the opportunity, takes down Elyoya, because if he didn't, that would be an Elder Dragon for Movistar.
Rabble having an absolute banger of a game.
It might still be.
It might still be. The Movistar Riders are going to play for the Elder Dragon here, even if you're facing against a Soul. This Elder Drake is such an incredibly important objective, but they are getting zoned off it, and if it goes to GamerLegion, that's terrible news. Phone's looking for the flank. Can't quite find it. Elyoya, it's all or nothing for the smite, but there they go indeed. The onslaught of shadows. D is not enough. Damage coming through here from a Movistar Riders. That's beansu going down. This composition is simply too tanky. Nite goes in deep. Nite finds the kill, and all of a sudden Movistar Riders is getting blown up by GamerLegion. Harva tries to delay the inevitable, but it is gonna be the Soul coming through here. It's GamerLegion really gonna do it. Are they gonna upset the #1 seed of the SLO? Movistar Riders base is open. Nite is taking. They're not even needing
Everyone is
the
dead.
Elder Soul.
Everyone is dead at this point, and we said if they get the engage and someone dies, it's a GamerLegion fight. Not just one person died, two person died instantly. They absolutely decimated Movistar, and this game, they overperformed. GamerLegion.
The #3 seed for the DAC region makes an incredibly strong statement here in this best of one. As the Spanish saviors, Movistar's Riders, we expected a confident play. When the confident play wasn't coming, we expected a comeback like that on time and time before.
I'm loving to see GamerLegion. Yeah, I'm loving to see them so decisive. They knew their win conditions. The second, the first items were completed on these bruisers that were just diving in. The Hecarim just worked so well for them. And even though Elyoya was, just still farming, they just weren't able to do anything because the composition was just so hard to fight against. I felt like Xico was going to make one of these insane plays that we've seen Tekola do with the Azir, and he was almost there, but it just wasn't enough. Because when the Irelia gets ahead, the Renekton and the Hecarim get ahead, it's just so hard. JaVaaa didn't get to play the game. I was waiting for these flashes forward for him to be an assassin onto that Jhin as well, and he just didn't get to play the game.
What can you say?
Upset. I'm upset.
What can you say?
I'm upset that I didn't see the assassin, but I'm so happy because this group is wide open right now.
After a start like that, I'm certain that Week 2 of European Masters is going to deliver. We're going to go to a short break, and then we'll be right back with the next game, which is going to be Rogue versus Subup. Don't go anywhere.